this is a workshop related to network automation. We would be discussing about why network automation, how to do the network automation, what are the tools that you need for network automation, right? So all the details will be provided in this session. First of all, let me introduce myself. I would be the trainer for this full batch, which is 3 to 4 month of batch, which we have during weekends. So today is just a free workshop where we will have some topic coverage. And I do provide training on DevNet, automation, Ansible, CCNP to CCI enterprise, and CCNP to CCI security. So these are my mainstream field where I've worked previously, and now I'm full-time corporate trainer. So that was about my introduction. Regards to the course agenda, as you know, this is about the network automation. So we would be going through Python, Ansible, REST API, and the Cisco Devnet module. I'll be giving you more hands-on and more briefing about how this topic should be conducted. Though you might be from a regular networking background, however, uh, do not be worried. We would be going through in a systematic pace. So we will cover each and every aspect from the network automation. So before I get started, I would like to understand from you how many of you are from the automation background? Anyone from the automation background who has been working in some automation or writing the script, or how many of you are from networking side? How many of you are network engineers? Yeah, you can feel free to unmute. Okay. So this is an interactive session. Do not worry. You can unmute yourself and answer me.
I am from networking background, Sagar.
Okay.
I'm also from networking background.
I am also
Yeah,
from networking background.
Okay.
yeah, me too. This is Varun.
Okay. Are you from automation background, or at least heard about network automation field?
Yep, like I started working on Python, so I'm learning Python, like working on some API scripting in Meraki. So like not very like I'm like I know the basic kind of scripting, like learning the scripting, basic scripting.
Okay. How about others? How about others? How many of you are from network automation, or at least you know that there is something called automation? There is possibility of
Hi Sagar, Sudip this side. I heard about automation, but I have no idea. I'm just working as a network engineer while just 3 years.
Okay.
I am from networking background.
Okay. So I believe most of you guys are from the network network background, but not from the network automation background, right? So
Yes.
Yes.
yeah, so, yeah. So we will discuss today uh, what a network automation engineer does in his work role, and how is it different from the regular traditional job, or how do he automate his networking related work. Okay, just to keep it interactive, have you guys heard about VLAN creations? How do you create a VLAN?
Yes, sir. The first of all, we
By
need to
giving some.
get access mode, and then switch
Mhm.
port mode access, and we
Mhm.
need to give it TVLAN
So
name
tell me
and
from
number.
very basic step. Let's say I am a layman person and you are explaining me how you configure a VLAN on a switch. So what is the first step?
Yeah, first
First
step.
of all,
Log in onto the device and going to config mode and just create a
So
VLAN
see,
name.
first you will log in, then you will log in the sense you will put username, then in the next step you will put the password, right? Then it will take you to the enable mode or user privilege mode, and then what you do, you might go to configure terminal, correct? What happens next after going to configure terminal? What happens next?
we're just naming the villain. Kind of, if we are going to name the villain 10 or villain 20,
Mhm.
anything.
Okay. So for example, if you have a VLAN 10 and you want to name it as sales, so this will be the CLI command. Similar way,
Yes,
if you are going to configure VLAN 2 and you want to name it, let's say finance, right? Now,
yes,
now this is a traditional networking where you log in, you put the username, password, you go to configure mode, you put the VLAN names. Now, let's say on day one, you did this. And let's say on daily basis, day two, day three, day four, your everyday work is that you're creating some VLANs. The requirement is that you're creating some VLANs and etc. etc. Correct. So these are traditional job, creation of VLANs or creation of anything that you go log in and do it manually. Now, let me tell you, if in case you are creating VLAN, you definitely will not create a VLAN in a single switch, right? You might have to do the process repeat mode in 100 switches. You have to create all that VLAN in all the switches. If you don't create that, the switch which is not been configured will not know about that VLAN. So all of I mean, in an average, how much time does it take on day one? So let's say day one it is taking 2 hours for you to go to every 100 switches and put this to VLAN, and on the second day you will go back to another couple of devices. You might have to do some more VLAN creation. So the process repeat. You have to log into each and every switches and configure. So you can consider this is how the traditional job used to work. And the second problem with this is, what if I do a human error? In the sense, I was being asked to let's say I have 100 switches where I am supposed to put this configuration, but for some reason I'm doing it in a different data center also. Some human error in terms of logging, in terms of inventory, and I am totally getting it done in 250 switches from different data centers, etc. Now it is not a good config. My management don't want those VLAN in on a different switches. So they will ask me to delete it, clear it. So I have to still spend some time, not some time, I have to spend some hours to delete from each and every devices that I might have mistakenly done it, right? So this is all contributing to traditional network where you can face human error. You might do lot of manual repetitive task, lot of manual work you have to do. So this is where automation comes into picture. How automation comes into picture is, say for example, I am expertised in Python scripting. I will prepare one script, okay, a small script of 10 lines. just a 10 line. I don't need 100 lines. I need only 10 lines. And I'll mention my device list. So this device list will have all the 100 switches. I'll specify my username and password in the same script, and I'll prepare my config that I want to push it. 10, 20, 30, 40, whatever number it is. Then what you do, you just have to run the script, single button. Okay, so there will be an option where you can start the script. Once you start the script will make automatic SSH connectivity to the switches and keep configuring. Now it is taking only 2 seconds per device. So configuration is successful, then it will go to the next device. Again SSH, again 2 seconds, configuration done. Again go to the next device, 2 seconds. So with this, all your 100 devices are done within, let's say, 30 minutes. And there is no human error as well, because the device list is being provided by you. Whichever you have inspected, whichever device that you want to push it, you are making this push only to those 100 devices. You can also pre-plan the changes. So let's say you have this change tonight at 2 a.m. So you can prepare it today in the late evening and keep the things ready. And at 2 a.m. you can just run the run button, and this will go and do configuration in all the devices. So that is called automation. Now all the trending job portfolio, if you see, there will be something mentioned called automation. We are looking for network engineer who is expertised in automation. So that doesn't mean that you have to be master, or you need to be a coder, or you have to be a expert in programming. That is not what they expect. But what they expect is that you have done some automation, or you are in the project, or you are going to be in the project where you would be expected automating the things. I gave you very simple example, that is VLAN configuration. Now some more examples I'll give you. Say for example, configuration was one of the example. In that, VLAN was considered as an example. Similar way, you can configure OSPF, you can configure BGP, you can configure any protocols, right? You can write a single script with all this protocol and push it all at once, and the script will take care of it. So this is part of configuration. What about your day-to-day monitoring or day-to-day troubleshooting? So may I ask you, how do you do the troubleshooting in your traditional networking? If let's say you get an alert, BGP neighbor down, or you get an alert, OSPF process restarting, or you get an alert, duplicate MAC address found, or you get an alert like the duplex mismatch found. So what is your troubleshooting method? You might first look for the device, then log into the device, then might go and Google for some CLI commands to get that show command, right? How much time are you going to waste in order to get to that extent? Say for example, if the site isolation happens, you know that you are only given maximum 5 minutes to do the basic troubleshooting and raise the tag or inform your next level engineer, right? If you're taking 20 minutes just to get the device and to log in, and another 10 minutes to search Google to get the equivalent CLI command, another 10 minutes to fetch the things and then email. So this is, you see, 30 minutes of gap, right? Which is not going to match with your SLA. So SLA, service level agreement, is very important in the enterprise level, right? So how does scripting help you in troubleshooting? Very simple. You can have the script ready. Say, for example, you can have the scripts ready for BGP troubleshooting, right? You have a script where you have already pre-populated with all the BGP routers detail. You have all the credential which you can update on the same notepad or Excel, whatever it is, and just feed it to the Python script. Python script will run across on all those BGP routers and give you an audit report. Audit report, or it will give you an report, or it will showcase you if the neighbors are up, neighbors are down, which ISP went down, or what is going on. So this is one example for troubleshooting. So you with the help of script, you can just keep the things ready. If you know that site isolation is very frequent, so you can keep the things ready, just change few details, few information, and run the script. It will find you the very first level of troubleshooting information. Then you can either you have this been integrated with any service now or any ticketing system. Then using the REST API, the ticket also get auto generated. So for that, it depends. If you have a service now, if you have any ticketing system, nowadays they all responds to REST API. So your Python script can notify those ticketing system and create a ticket as well. Or if you don't have that integration, you can fetch the detail, put that information in your email, and mark your customer and send it. So your 5 minute of SLA is preserved. Okay, so this is one more example where you want the automation. What other things do you think we might need automation? Give me some things that you are basically doing it in your production, your traditional things. So you guys said you guys are from the networking side. So how does your day-to-day networking job responsibilities look like?
I think
Okay.
one good use case may be the firmware upgrade.
Okay, software upgrade or firmware upgrade. What else?
I'm not typically a network guy. I think I'm in the security department, but
And dashboards creation and dashboards updation.
Okay, dashboard or uh, let's say the graphical interface. Okay, what else? What traditional things are you doing? Tell me that. I mean, I'll tell you the
I think
way forward.
No,
asset inventory at a point becomes issue. So I think automation
Yeah,
something that can.
one at a time. Yeah, Prince, you go ahead. What are you
I'm
telling?
saying like asset inventory, trying to identify new assets on the network. So I think the use of automation can really help.
Okay. What else? Yeah. I think Srini was. I think you were telling some examples. What else? What else? Traditional things that you do in your
So, finding out the host information and creating a change, something like that.
finding of the host information. You mean to say audit report?
Yeah, audit report kind of thing.
Okay, audit report. What else?
And some of the troubleshooting thing, like if we provide it like source to destination and port number, it will check any ping drops or errors on the interface.
Okay, so let's say ping or trace route reports. Okay, what else? What else do you do in your networking job?
It's configuration and troubleshooting.
Yeah, that we have discussed already, configuration and day-to-day troubleshooting. So you also might be dealing with the repetitive task always, right? What else? So what else can we do it in our networking jobs? So how many of you work on the SDN technologies like SD-WAN or DNAC or EPIC?
Me.
Okay. So you guys use any automation on this controllers?
Like not on SD-WAN, but like I did some scripting on in Meraki, Cisco Meraki, using
Mhm.
AEDT.
Yeah, so we use ACI, and so actually we are having different team which will create the scripts and automate uh,
Mhm.
the things what we worked on the ACI thing, like to deploy some of the config on the ACI. Or
Okay. Yeah. See, we should know that there are two communication protocol, right? One is SSH and HTTP. So all the devices that works or that we use via SSH, we make use of Python scripting with one of the SSH library. So this is the usual setup. When it comes to HTTP type of communication protocol, especially when you have graphical or dashboard type of vendors like Palo Alto, FortiGate, F5, LTM, Meraki, or DNAC, Epic. For these, you can use something called Postman application with the help of REST APIs. Okay, REST API, application programming interface. So these are two majorly used protocols to interact with the device. Is there any other protocol that we can use? What other protocols are you aware of? Are you aware of something called SNMP? SNMP Telnet, are you aware of this?
Yes.
So we can write a Python script and also use this, but it's not preferred method because of clear text credentials and SNMP being the UDP protocol. So this is not preferred at all. Apart from this, what other protocols are there, especially the modern devices like cat 9K or cat 8K? You have SSH and HTTP, but you have two more new protocols that we usually use for DNAC or for the other ways of automating. Have you heard about them? I'll just give you some hint. It starts with N and R. Those who have worked on cat 9K, cat 8K, you can or let me give you one more hint.
Nexus.
No, I'm asking about the communication protocol like SSH, HTTP. So
Okay.
there are some more communication protocol nowadays. It's part of Yang model. Can you be little louder? Cannot hear you.
net config or something like that, or
Yeah, NetConf and RESTConf. Nowadays, you will see NetConf and RESTConf being used heavily on Cisco devices. Okay, so they are like better versions of the legacy SSH. So NetConf works over on the SSH protocol, and RESTConf works over on the HTTP protocol. So they do have their own port number. However, you still need this protocol to be enabled along with that. So these are some communication method: SSH, HTTP, NetConf, and RESTConf. So all your legacy iOS devices, especially, they all are used with the help of SSH. We do SSH and put the device IP, and we take the control. So we can use Python and some SSH library and get into the device and automate whatever we discussed today. Similar way with HTTP, you can go with the Postman application, and it's a API based automation. And examples like your DNAC, Meraki, Palo Alto dashboard, FortiGate dashboard, Cisco Firepower dashboard, F5 LTM dashboard. So all the dashboards can be automated using the Postman application. For RESTConf and NetConf, you can make either use of Postman. Especially this, you can make use of Postman, and for NetConf, you can make use of Python script itself to automate. There are specific library for that. So you have a library called Ncclient here, Python library, and for this you have something called as request library. Okay, so when you talk about Python, libraries are very important. Libraries are like your, like say for example, I'll give you one example. You just purchased an Android phone. Where do you get the software from? From the Play stores. If you purchase a iPhone, you get it from App Store, right? Similar way, when you prefer to go with Python, all its needed libraries are in the marketplace, and we need to know what we are looking for. We will search for it, download it, and then we write the script, and we are good to go with the automating of the device. Automating of the device is very easy. First, you should know the fundamentals. You should know the tools that is needed, and if you know the step by step process, then if you learn automating Cisco, then you can just change few bits and make it compatible with Palo, or you can make it compatible with Cisco Nexus, or any other vendor. So first you have to learn basic, target only Cisco devices, because that is something which most of you guys would be using in your enterprise. If you are thorough till this step, then you can just use the same script for another vendor. Okay, that easy is automation. So you just need guidance initially. Once you have that guidance, then the things becomes simpler for the automation part. Okay, so we discussed about some use cases and why automation, and what are the traditional things that we normally do. And we also discussed about the communication protocol that we need. Now, let me tell you how do we install this, let's say in the home lab, because if you have something in the home lab, you can practice it, right? And what is the specification needed for this? You don't need much. You just need 16 GB of RAM. If you have 4-core CPU, that is sufficient, and 50 GB of storage is sufficient. This much specification is sufficient in your home laptop. If you already have your if your employer is already giving you a lab, then you can utilize that. Or student who have enrolled with us, we are giving them 6 months of remote access, so you will get some login credential and document to access the lab. You can access it, and all the things are on our site. You can access it from your office or home, or whatever travel, or wherever you want from. So we have all the options. But specifically, if you are looking from home lab, this is the specification that you need. From the tools perspective, what do you need? So definitely you need the programming language. You need to have Python. Okay. And when we go with the Ansible, then I'll show you how to install Ansible. API don't need to be installed, because that comes pre-built on the operating system or the software images. Okay, so we need programming language. We need IDE, Integrated Development Environment. So for Python, I would be using PyCharm. You have other options like MS Visual Studio. You can make use of either Atom or Eclipse, even Notepad plus, but I don't recommend because they are not user friendly, or Sublime Text. Or if you are a Linux user, then there is a terminal, right? You can use that as well. Or if you are a Mac user, then also you have a terminal which usually have Python pre-installed. So this is what we can use for ID. I will be going with PyCharm. I'll be showing you how to download PyCharm and install it in your home lab, or how do we set up these tools on the first class once we start. And what else we need? So once we see, for example, for SSH automation, I'll be going with PyCharm plus the library. I'll show you how to download the libraries. Okay, so that is on me. I'll show you how to download the SSH packages. When you go with the dashboard type of automation, that means Palo Alto automation, F5 automation, Meraki automation. So for that, you will need Postman application. These are all open source. You don't have to pay anything to them. There is a community version which is totally free, and also they are not very I mean, they're not a storage intensive as well. Might be Python could be few MBs file size. PyCharm could be another few MBs, and same with the Postman. They are not going to be very heavy storage intensive or RAM intensive. Okay, so these are some things that you need. In addition to that, you need some devices, right? Let's say if let's say you're automating Cisco devices, so you might need Cisco devices, and I'm not going to recommend you the hardware. I know that is not feasible. Just to learn automation, I won't recommend you go and purchase a switch or a router and keep it in your desk and practice it. That is not feasible, and no one wants a physical gates these days. So what do we have now? What application can I use for my home lab?
Yeah, yeah. I have like one question first. Like, is there an option to raise hand in this workplace, Zoom workplace?
Which one?
Raise a hand, like option to raise a hand.
Yeah, you can raise the hand or you can unmute it, but you can park your question.
I'm not able to see the raise hand options. That is why I'm asking. Okay, yep. Like,
Uh,
I have couple of questions. Like, when
Mhm.
you were talking about the Python, application, like ideally is also one of the application that we can use, right?
But it is not user friendly. I can just write it down, okay? But it's not user friendly.
Yeah. And one more question, like the HTTP can be used with Python as well, right? Like as Meraki works on the dashboard, like on the web URL, right? So basically, we can use Python for like we can use HTTP with Python as well, right? And, like not only Postman, like with Python also we can use HTTP, right?
There is a way to convert that into Python script. Then you can use in the Python way.
No, but like generally, like if I write a code, let's say like I do call the dashboard of Meraki in Python and import Meraki and everything that I do. I think that use port 80 only or port 443, I believe. But that is like that use the port 443 or 80 only to connect to a dashboard.
Correct. Yeah, port 443 it will use.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So Postman is the easiest way to handle it. If someone is using Python script, then they should make use of a library like request library and
Yeah.
convert the entire thing into a script format and then push it.
Yeah. Like there's a library for Meraki itself, like import Meraki. Like Meraki is the library name.
Hmm.
Okay, yeah, like you were asking, right? We can use evng because I use evng for kind of scripting.
Yeah. So EVNG is one example. Any other example? Have you heard about GNS3? GNS3?
Yeah, GNS3, yeah, but it can, okay, yeah, GNS3 is there, but I think we can't connect GNS3 with our local system, right?
No, we can connect. We can connect. So these two are the good platform. Have you heard about Packet Tracer?
Yeah, Cisco software.
Yeah, so this will not work, okay, because this doesn't have any option to have Python or load any Python for now. So this you don't use it. You can use EVNG or GNS, and with the help of WinSCP, you can copy all the Cisco images on the backend folder, and you have the ready devices ready. You don't have to have any physical gates. So you can have a virtualization enabled. So these are some tools that we need in the automation batch. And we don't need any expensive, cost-effective tools. We don't need any RAM-intensive softwares. We don't need any paid materials. Everything is free. Okay, if you have the setup, and if you are already uh, kind of have some knowledge, you can do it yourself. But as you know, this is something which need guidance. So that is why we have a 3 month of batch where we go from a systematic order till an advanced level. Okay, someone who doesn't want to look on a several resources to learn something. Okay, so you want to enroll somewhere where you have a systematic blueprint. You go from topic one till the final advanced topic. So this is where the that platform is. Okay, but as I'm telling you, that is not a requirement. If you want, you can do self study, but it is up to you how you set this up, how do you configure this, where which source you refer to make the script, and all the things. You will be taking care of each and every things. With us, we help you with the home lab setup. We help you with the uh, remote lab setup. You are facing any issue at your production side, you're facing any issue with the class script, we will guide you, right? So it's more like a systematic order. Rest is up to you what you decide. You want to go self study, you are free to do that. If you want to opt the 3 month batch, you are feel free to opt for the batch, because from this Saturday we are going to start the batch from the scratch level. Okay, so I believe till here you're clear how the tools and the softwares needed for this. Now, what I will do, I'll go to my lab. I'll show you some quick examples. So let's say once you have the things ready, let me share my other screen. See, this is how we will give you the remote lab access. You guys will have your own credential as I do. Log into the box. Okay, I think I have logged into another lab of mine. I'll go to the automation lab. Automation. Yeah, this is my automation lab. I'll just quickly go through what all devices I've kept it here. So these are all Cisco based devices, Cisco iOS based devices, routers and switches. So if you're practicing any configuration, VLANs, or you're fetching out some reports, etc. So these you can use it. So similar way, you have some other multi vendors as well. So you have Palo Alto, you have iOS XC platform, Cisco ASA firewall, FortiGate, Arista switches, and Juniper VXRX firewall. So these are a few of the multi-vendor that we have kept it, because most of the time the enrolled participant need one or the other thing from here. Now coming to the rest of the technology like SD-WAN or ACI or DNAC uh, or F5 LTM or let's say uh, firepower or whatsoever. We have different labs for this, or we can share you some free resources from the Cisco Devnet or Sandbox platform where you can use for automating the things. Okay. F5 and firepower we can give you on the request basis because not everyone use this. So those whoever needs it, we can give them. They don't take much. Yeah, definitely it might take a bit because firepower will take at least 8 GB of RAM. It may not run in your home lab, but in the remote lab, if you need any such nodes like Nexus or F5, etc., on a request basis, we will add it. Regards to rest of the SDN technology, as you know, this works bit different. You need to have the VHS onboarded. You need to have the leaf spine configured. You need to have SDA, etc. So this is not possible until you are a technology subject matter expertise, right? So what we will do, we will show you a method to get it ready made from the DevNet sandbox. So that will be very easiest way to have the dashboard and check the automation on these technology. So this is about the lab. How do you spin them up? Very simple. Just right click and click on the start button. The nodes will get powered on. Give it 5 to 10 minutes to get started and get stable so that you can have the login being entered. So how do you open the console? You can just double click on that. So this is how the console comes up. You can double click or single click and it comes like this. So now the devices are booting up. So on the very first day, you might ask if I'm having a brand new device, then what do I need to get the things started up, right? So let me walk through on the getting started steps. So first thing is that you have to set up all your tools like PyCharm, EVNG or GNS, and all the things. Okay. Second thing is once you have your let's say EVNG or GNS up and running, you will have this kind of images. So these devices are blank. So you need to prepare the management configuration in your home lab. You don't need much of the things. You can go very minimal configurations. You can put the host name. You can specify the interface. No shutdown. If you want to provide an address, you can do that, or you can go with the DHCP setup. You can create the username, bring up the IP domain. Okay, and crypto key generate RSA modulus 1024. This is to bring up the SSH keys. Then you go line VTY 024, login local, transport, input, SSH, and what? That is sufficient. And then you just do the write memory. You need to do write memory because you don't want every time you need to put this whenever you open the devices, right? So once you do this, put the write memory, your your job is done from the device perspective at least. Then we don't go on the device on every day. We just need this tool. From here we take the control of the devices. This is only for day one when you get the blank devices, when you need to configure the basic things like IP addressing and the SSH things, etc. You need to do this. Okay. Rest later, you go to PyCharm or whatever Postman or whatsoever type of automation that you're performing, and you take the you take the control of the devices from those applications. So for now, let's say if I have some IP address with me, show IP int brief. See, I have some IP called 24.105, right? So I can check from my application, PyCharm application, if I'm reachable to that 172.16.24.105. See, I can reach that device. So the device which is in my lab, I can do the ping, and I can I'm on the PyCharm right now, right? So this is a PyCharm application. So let me show you one example, basic example. So in this example, let's say I replace it with my working device. I put the credential. I say that I want to push this configuration. Let's see what configuration is that. So if something which I can change, or let's see what is that config push. Okay, so I see that these are the configuration which I might be executing, and there are some configuration which I would be taking the fetch of it, with the help of do command. So this is a notepad somewhere stored in some file and some path, and I've given that total complete path here. And along with that, I also say that there are some show commands and have some for loop. And I say that I want to collect those backup in certain file. So where is that music and something like this? Let me see. Where is that folder? Yeah, something here. So the purpose of the script is I do the SSH to this device using this credential, push some configuration which is present on the text file, and then also run some show command, and those show command I want to take the output. So you got the requirement of this, right? You got the requirement of this. What is the requirement of the script? What is the script going to do? Can someone explain me? What is
Yeah,
the yeah
to set up a connection with the device using SSH or and after that we have to push the configuration from
hmm,
our local machine to the device,
hmm,
and after that we have to perform some pre-checks like do show commands to get the output from the device
hmm.
to our local machine.
Okay, take the backup, right?
Yeah, Beck.
Yeah, so this is something your use case that we do in the production, right? So we do the SSH, we push something, etc., etc. Now this is written in the script format. So this is a script where you can reuse in your production also. If I give you this, what? How many lines are there? Some 20 lines are there. If I give you this script, you can run this script for 100 devices by just adding all the other devices, just comma separated, something like this. Single script, you can just push it to all those devices and sit relax and just watch the output terminal, hoping there is no errors due to any other reason. So this is what a script looks like. You don't have to make 100 copies of a script to run on in each one of them. Just one script, you just mention, specify what all devices that you want to push it. So right now I have kept one device, these things to do, and I told you there is something called a run button, right? So how do I get that run button? So when I right click, I have that run button here. So if I click on this, you will see in the output terminal what happens as soon as you trigger the script. This is the output terminal. Okay, so it says that there is some issue with the do show run. Okay, it might be might be somewhere here. Let me remove few lines because they are very lengthy commands like show tech and all. So let me just push it only for few lines. See now what has happened. It will give you the proper step-by-step output. So your script connected first, then it went to the configure terminal. You can see that yourself in the configuration mode. Then it configured these things from the notepad. Then also this is from the notepad, and this is also from the notepad. And you see you're now done from that notepad. Okay, you can compare that with the notepad that you had here. Config push. See, these are the commands that got executed. 2.2, 3.3, OSPF, and so on, right? So see, 2.2, 3.3, OSPF, and the show command. So these four commands from this notepad got executed. That is the output you see. And next, there were few show command as a pre-check. So that is these things, and these information you wanted in the notepad as a backup. So that there is a backup generated here. See, with the device IP 105. So when you open this, this is the backup that you have it. So if you run this across 100 of devices, you just add number of devices and just run it. So you don't have to manually go to each device, log in there, do the configuration or fetch the configuration. You can do it everything from the script. That is what I said. On day one, you have to configure it. Once you finish this configuration, then you even don't go to this platform. You just might go to get the IP. But if you keep that static, then you don't even go here. You can do all the things, or you will be most of the time only using this platform throughout the batch, because you have the IP. You can push it directly from the script itself, right? So this is one example. Any question with this example? Any question, or someone who
Hi,
has?
Dhawan, I have a question.
Yeah,
Hello,
yeah, go ahead.
can you hear me? Okay. Sorry, I missed you. You're showing some lab, right? Online lab, some
Correct,
JNST or EVNG. Is that
correct,
meant for students who are enrolled for the class, or it's for your
correct.
tutor?
Yeah. So those who enroll the full batch, we give them the remote lab included with the package for 6 months. And the
Okay,
same file we also give them if they are having that basic 16 GB of RAM specification. So we have
okay,
expertise who will install these things in your own laptop.
okay.
So both the
And
options
this
we
lab is
have.
available on demand basis, or anytime it's 24/7 it's available. The lab
See,
which you're showing, right?
Network Journey has different packages. We have online instructor led. We have
Mhm,
the home lab that we were talking about. We also have something called as NJ rental lab. That means if you only need the lab, so
mhm.
you don't get anything along with rental lab. You only get the access to this, and you can do it from whatever sources that you have it. So for that, I'll connect you today. After my session, I'll connect you with my counselor, so you can take the charges, or you can ask the different packages that Network Journey has.
So the lab which you are showing is made of GNS3 or EVNG?
It is a EVNG based platform.
Okay. Okay. So
Okay,
if, for example, if 20 students enroll for the class, everyone will be having their own access, right? I mean,
exactly.
it's not.
Everyone will have their own pod, because in the backend we are having certain configurations done that every student
Mhm.
will receive their own pod. That means you're doing
Okay.
something will not impact other, the vice versa. If they do something,
So
it will
backend, you are running Kubernetes.
yeah, something from the hypervisor, as well as you can
Okay.
also add the nodes of your own choice. So for example, you wanted to add some devices, let's say some automation as per your protection scenario. So you are free to add them as well. Make your own setup other than our ready-made labs that we give you. Okay.
So this lab is not only for this network practice, right? Even we can run the scripts, whatever you teach in the class, we can run those scripts in this lab environment, right?
Yes, yes. This is for the automation lab, automation class
Okay.
only. These labs are designed for.
Okay. So
Okay.
you meant if I need firepower based on the request, it will be added, right?
Yeah,
So,
firepower we can
right.
add. Firepower, F5, these things we can add as per the student's request.
Okay. Okay.
So you don't have to pay separately for that. We have not added because they are not very popular. I mean, not everyone use it, and it might create lot of resource problem for others. So that is why we have kept it as a request based. So you just write us an email and we will add that node in your lab.
Okay. Thank you. This is part of the package, what you're
Yeah,
going
yeah,
for
it
this
is
lab.
a
Yes.
part of the package itself. So
Thank you.
see,
Thanks a lot.
whatever nodes that is listed here, most of the nodes we can do it apart from SDN, because you know SDN don't work with just single device. You have to do the certificate onboarding. The other, there are a lot of procedure for that. So that's why we don't keep SDN here. We will show you in the sandbox devnet. Rest are all standalone devices. So from the backend, we will push the image and you get that node available for you. Okay, so come back.
Thank you.
Any question with the example one?
One more question.
Yeah.
Can I able to customize my lab based on my need, or should I follow the available setup?
You are free to customize as per your need. If
Okay.
you want, you can do it customization here only, but in another section, or there is an option here to create any new labs also. So that you can do it. Okay.
Okay. If I need a couple of Palo Altos, right? So it's not, there is no hardware limitation, right? I mean, no hardware
No, no.
restriction, whatever.
At least in our remote lab, there is no hardware limitation. But in home lab, you may not be able to add such kind of nodes because of the laptop resource that
Yeah,
the.
yeah, got it, got it. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Any question with the example one? If no, then I'll quickly go to the second one. So in the second one, this is another example. See, most of the time what happens is we don't put the things on the script directly. Might be you will ask me, I don't want to keep the device IP on the script. I don't want to put the credential on the script. Let's say my customer is giving me an Excel file with thousands of inventory. So how do I fit those thousand of inventory manually here? It is not feasible, right? That I don't expect me. I get an Excel of inventory size 1,000 devices, and I come and do the copy paste here and run the show. I instead of that, what I will do, I will try to point to that file itself. So, say for example, I have a file with me which I got from the customer. So let's say device config 123. This is the file. My customer is giving me this inventory. He's saying that I want you to do this configuration push on these devices. So he has given me IP, he has given me the needful things, username. This is on me. I will update this. But he has given me the device IP and host name. And also he has given me the config. Configs can be different. So let's say this is a Cisco box. So the config will be related to Cisco. Similar way, I have a Palo configuration. I have a Nexus configuration. I have a XR configuration, right? So the requirement is that you write 20 script, one script to deal with Cisco, one for Juniper, one for that is your headache, or you write a single script to deal with all multiple vendors. So what do you think? How would we handle this situation? I have a requirement where I have multi vendors. All the configurations are differ from each other. So how do you think I would be automating this? What would be the way to automate this? Will I go with multiple script? My one script only handles Cisco. Second one will only handle Palo. Or what is the approach? You tell me the logic. I don't expect you
Based
give.
on the device type, we can choose which one, like Cisco or Palo Alto, right? Device type will help us to.
Okay. So that device type is something in the library. But I am just asking from a very high level. What do you think this would end up, or how do you think we can handle this situation?
I think
So it
we
should
can
be different.
implement
Hmm?
So it should be
a
different
condition.
scripts for multiple the devices, because every configuration for different devices is a different, right? Different script. So we should be go with the different script.
No, we
Okay.
can use the same script, right? Single script with multiple device type, right? Single script will be working with the if-else
But
conditions, right?
but
If
the
the device type
steps.
is Cisco, sorry,
Mhm.
if
Mhm.
this is device type is Cisco iOS, we need to execute this, and the device type is Cisco, Nexus, right? We can execute this else, and another else statement with if the device type is Juniper, right? So we can do everything in a single script. That would be a feasible
That
option, right?
if else will come if in case the device type was not given, but in this case the device type is also given. So you don't even need to have if else. So give me logic. Give me
No,
logic.
actually, the reason I told device if else is that, yeah, and I agree that with device type is given, right? Even the device type is given, few of the commands are specific to the device, right? For example, we cannot able to give the commands in generic to all that. For example, some commands will work in Nexus and it won't be applicable to ASA, right? So if based on that multiple combinations of device types to specify which device type, which command to work, right? I was applying that logic.
Okay. Okay. So what other logic is there for this? Give
You
me
can create
a
an
very
if
over.
condition. You can create an if condition.
Hmm.
You can create an if condition or a conditional statement in your script.
Okay. So
So
my my
if it's
my ask
certain
to
device,
do the configuration alone. The configuration blocks are also given, and the device types are also given. Okay, so I'll take you to the script directly. This is the script.
I think you can okay.
Sorry, come again.
I was saying that since each configuration is associated with the device type, you can just iterate over them so that each device will pick the corresponding configuration. So you don't need to put an if or else statement.
Yeah, yeah, that is what. Yeah, we will check now. So see, in what I'm first doing, my logic is to first read through the Excel file, okay, or Excel or CSV, whatever it is. So I'm reading the data and I'm keeping it in a separate variables. So I know what is my device type. I know what is the username, IP, and all the things I know before my SSH is going to start. So my SSH is going to start over here. So where is that? Over here. Okay. So before that, if you check here, while I take the SSH connectivity, you see that I have directly run the things without making any if else, because that is not needed for me as of now. But yeah, that if else we can add it in a different scenario when the device type was not known to me, then we need if else. But right now everything is in the variable. So, and the requirement is also to push the configuration that is in the Excel, not to do any reporting or not to do any filtering. So it's a straightforward work. I get the things. I will take the SSH of that device. I will run some show commands. And as you can see, there is a variable used here, CLI command 123, which we have over in the top lines. CLI command 123, which is nothing but the outcomes of these cells. So I'm reading that, I'm sending those commands, and I'm pushing the configuration config 123. That also comes in the format of variable, line number 17. Configurations are these blocks. So I have command, I have configuration, and I just run the show. That's all. These exceptional, I'm not sure if every one of you are from the automation background, but why these exceptionals are used are, let's say if I have some number of devices with me, let's say some devices are not live, they are not reachable, or let's say some devices are having some SSH key problem. How is your Python script going to behave? Is your Python script works one after one. So that means if the first device is wrong, I mean if the first device is down or SSH key is not working, your script will stop here. The script should go to the next step, which will not happen. Okay, so your script should go to the next device. That is why we are making use of an error handling concept. It's called exceptional blocks here. So what it does, if I'm facing any device timeout or facing any device authentication, the exceptional will be caught in this block and generate a separate notepad to me. So at the end of the script, at the end of my script execution, I will have three notepad created, one with all the success device list, all the device that got successfully pushed, devices which failed due to timed out issue, device IP not reachable or whatever reason. Or the third scenario could be when there is an authentication problem. So you can attach this file to your ticketing tool. You can close it saying it is successful for 90 devices. 5 devices failed due to timeout, and the remaining 5 failed due to authentication problem. So automation doesn't only mean do the job, but it also has to generate certain report that can conclude your change as well, because later you can't go and check, right, which device failed, which device got authentication problem, etc. You can segment that at the time of execution itself. So what I'll do right now, I'll put one good device, okay, 105, and for all the remaining devices I have kept some non-working IPs. So we will see if the if this exceptionals are caught or not. Okay, and the script which I have it, which I'm reading from the device, where are those exceptionals will be caught. Let's see if I have any folder created for that. Let's say music third. Okay, I'll just change or I can update this folder itself. Okay, let me take this name back. I want them to be created here. Okay, and I'll just delete whatever there from our previous example. Let me just see if the paths are good. Fine. Now I'll run this. Say it says enter the password. Okay, Cisco connected. Did the job. Now I go to the second device, which is say dead IP. Okay, it will not connect or neither it will do anything, but it will be caught in the exceptional. Whether authentication or timed out, it will be caught here. So where does it say backup? 1 second. Okay, the entire path is wrong. Okay, let me update the working path here. Might be the path was not updated. So let me update the entire thing. So this is where I want that to be generated. Okay, now let me run this. So first device, it will ask me, I'll say Cisco, device got connected. Now it will go to second device. The device is non-working device. Let's see what would happen. See, now there is a file generated called timeout, right? So don't worry about that. It is nothing but it is collecting all the devices which is going to fail. Okay, so that type of script you need to build in order to have a end-to-end solution. Once your change is done, once all the 100 devices are being configured, then you can upload this files stating that 90 devices successful, 10 devices failing due to timeout, and these are the 10 devices. Got it? Any question with this example?
Dhawan, we are giving this input to the script via Excel sheet, right? You'll be showing on Excel sheet. So the
Yes.
Excel sheet, should we follow the same format or because aligning the format is time consuming, right, in Excel sheet. So any format is allowed to feed the script or we need
Which
to have.
format I didn't understand? Come again.
You are, what I understand is you've been giving the input to the script via the Excel sheet, right?
Correct, yeah.
Okay, so should we follow the same format of the
Yeah,
Excel sheet or we can?
you can just replace that password which you felt and put it here. That's all.
Can you please open the Excel sheet? Can you please open the Excel sheet?
This is the Excel.
Okay, yeah, this Excel sheet is going to feed this Python script, right?
Correct, yeah.
Okay, so if you see this serial number, device IP, host name, device type, and all, right? So we need to have that clear identification in the sheet level, right? Excel sheet. We cannot, if it should be a proper in order, right? That's what my question.
No, nothing. You can fetch it from anywhere and just keep it inside the variable. Later you just have to call wherever you want those variables. See, if you see here, I can call any row first, I can call any row second or whatever. That is totally random option. Okay.
So,
yeah.
For example, if that sheet, right? Let's assume that. Okay, can you please? Okay, how does the script knows the IP is in second column in device IP, right? So how does it? Is it
Yeah,
based on the header device IP?
that
Or
is from the indexing. You can see here there is a concept of indexing added here.
okay.
Okay.
So
Oh,
you mean to say the Excel sheet is getting fed into the script, and then it is
yeah.
treated as an like a set or array, right? And
See,
then from the array we are calling.
I will explain you. Line number 4, I have pointed to the Excel file. Line number
Okay.
5, I have pointed to which sheet I need from that Excel. Line number 6, I have added the for loop and I've said that ignore the header which is in the index 0, exclude this and start directly from the data. Data in the sense my device 1, not the headline. I don't need headline. Otherwise, I could have kept 0 starting from 0 index, but I'm keeping it 1. 1 in the sense index 1, which is nothing but from this line. From this line. I don't want this line. From this line, I need it. So I kept it index 1 till end row. End row in the sense you keep it to whatever extent you want. Because your Bangalore sheet can be having 200 entries, your Pune sheet can have 30 entries, and so on. So you don't have to manually keep changing every time that I needed 100 entries or I want 1000. You can keep it dynamic nature by setting it n row.
Okay, so okay, got it. So basically, we have to align this Excel. We should be in advance. We need to align the Excel sheet. So so that right, the index value what we are going to specify in the script should be matching that Excel sheet.
Yes, correct. Then
Okay.
you have to count your Excel. Say for example, you should know at what index is your data value located. Say for example, if someone asks you where is your host name located, so your host name
Okay.
is located on row
5.
index of 1, because this is row 0 and this is row 1, correct? And
Right.
which column is that? If you go from column 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, so it's a column 4. Okay,
Okay.
so you should know how the cells are being represented in terms of row and column. And what works is indexing works. Index starts with 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. So that is why you can see here I've added the index value. So this is an index 2. So if you just check, this is based on row perspective. See. So if you now check from the Excel, where is your host name? Your host name is located here. So what index is that? 2, right? So that is why there I have put 2. Similar way, let us check where is username. Username is located at 4th index. So you can check the script. Wherever you see 4, you can see that username is being fetched at this point with the
So
index.
we need to do the prep works before the script, right? We need
Yes,
to do the prep works for this to see it,
correct.
and then we have to.
Exactly. Yes, as per your file, you have to do the prep work. Okay, so whatever
Thanks.
you may not need every data here. You need IP, you need device type, you need username and password, config and command. You can skip serial number, host name until you want. You can skip it. If you don't use enable, you can skip it. So whatever is needed, only that you will fetch it. So once you fetch it, you are storing it in the variable. Do you guys understand what is variable? No, right?
Yes. Store some data.
Yeah. So variables are usually to store the data. So we are using those variables to store the data, and later we call it for our operations. So all these are variables from the Excel. So this is the correlation that happens from the Excel to the script. Okay, so I see it's 10:30. What we'll do, we'll go directly to some other examples. The other third and fourth is again related to Python. So I want to show you some example based on dashboard. See, now Python is considered as a backend programming tool, correct? Backend programming tool in the sense you have to go to the terminal, edit it, modify, write, etc. Backend. That is called backend. Not everyone is expertised making changes to this. So let's say your management asks you, hey, can you prepare a dashboard for the interns or the juniors so that they can do their basic troubleshooting or basic configuration without directly being interacting with the Python script. So you can prepare some front end dashboards for such requirement. So I have one example. I've made it using a application called ThinkTuck. Very basic application, but let me show you how it works, how it looks like. So when I run this, immediately one application will load on my screen. Okay, just a minute. Sorry, that is not the actual thing. Yeah, this is the one. So when I run this, one application will pop up. Okay, so my backend person has no relation with any of those script or whatsoever. He will only get this access. He is an intern. So he will get whatever I have fed in the background. So this is where my database is. So if I say that my device IP is 105 and so on, so it is my responsibility as a senior automation engineer to keep my inventory and keep this application open for him. So at any time, if he has to do any troubleshooting, he will get very basic things with him. Okay, let me just fix the inventory first. Uh, Let me keep this too. I can also repeat or clone the data just for an example. Now, if I run this, intern will get this application. Say, for example, he don't recall the IP address, he can select it from this. Already the credential goes up. You can keep any read-only credential. You don't have to give him a privilege 15. Read-only for very basic CLI output. And what they do, they just click on connect. They don't know what happens behind the scene. Okay, you let them select, let's say, show IP into brief and connect, and they will get the output here. So let's say if they are connecting to the device and want to see the host name, see, and they just want to save it. See, the option is there. So this is a front end. Backend, what is happening? Backend, you as a network engineer has designed your Python script. You have done the pre work there. You have kept the inventory so that they have all the 10-20 devices listed here. If in case they come to come across any IP which is not listed, they can also put it over here and take the control of it. They can put admin and password and try to connect it. This is a dashboard. The drawback of this dashboard is this is not very user friendly. You can see that if you drag drop the font or the things don't get resolved as like what you call as a browser compatible or display compatible, right? But it's a basic thing for getting the things done. If you need a better solution, then there is something called as Flask. Flask, uh, it's a front end programming. So you can integrate Flask with the network Python libraries. Once again, keep your inventory ready. So let's say the inventory is 105 and I run this script. So once the script will run, I get the localhost link. My intern will get only access to this. Now, whatsoever he has to do, he can do it from here and say he has to put the command. You can tweak it the way you want it. This is a basic thing. And let's say you want to execute or do the thing, and you can just download the report. Say something like this. Okay, so this is the front end. Now, why I'm showing this? Because you might be aware that automation is always to do the script writing or etc. etc. That's a myth basically. Automation has a lot of things. You can also prepare this kind of front end. Uh, the behind the scene definitely you have to work, but also you can come across this. You can integrate something called as boot flash or css html and also make it look like a dashboard as well. So whatsoever whoever is trying to execute or run, they get it in a very proper dashboard view. So there the scope is very high. In this session I could give you max to max within whatsoever was possible in a short span of time. When we go through the 3 month of course, you will get to know all these things in much detailed way. The course outline is there on the website. I'll just drop the link in the chat window. So this is the course module. First, we'll go with the Python theory. Then we'll go through the Python libraries, all the different libraries. Then we go through the Ansible, REST API, Cisco Devnet, and as a part of hands-on practice, I would be giving you some projects to be prepared so that you do hands-on, and also that way you will learn more rather than always looking at my screen what I do in the class. So whenever we cover few topics, I'll give you some project. You can refer our class notes, class videos, and keep the things moving. Okay, so this is going to be hands-on. The theory is very less, only at the start of the batch when we are going through the theory part, which is the first 10-15%. Once after this, then we go into the hands-on mode itself. So all the test cases, if you want to see the test cases, you can expand this section and you get to know what are the test cases that we will be discussing. Okay, so this has all the details. This is the lab. As I told you, the labs are user friendly. Whatever notes, if you need it, we will add it and give it to you. The servers are the access, the remote access that we give. It's going to be 24/7. And earlier we used to give 6 months, but nowadays we are giving it 6 months, and it's 24/7. So it's not a time limited. You can practice it as per your convenience. The total batch is usually, since it's a weekend batch, it goes for 2 to 3 months on weekends, and it's at 9 a.m. India. If there is any pre-booking happening for the weekdays, then I'm also available at the same time that we are right now, that is 9 p.m. to 11. But that's on a pre-booking based. If I have at least 15 participants, then I'll take it on a weekday as well. Otherwise, we have a planned batch which is on the weekend, and I would be happy if you guys take up the weekend batch. So that we can cover a lot of things. These sessions are 3 hours per day, and these sessions would be mostly like 1 to 1.5 hours on a weekly, because we get 5 days here, whereas here we get only 2 days, right? So to compensate, we have to take 3 plus 3, whereas this usually will be 1 to 1.5 hours in a weekday. Both will go almost the same. 2 to 3 months, 2 to 3 months, both batches would be going 2 to 3. Since the duration is less because it's your office hour, not everyone can concentrate for 3 hours straight on a weekdays. So that's something. As I told, if you're looking for weekday, I can take the batch. I'm free usually by 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. But I need 15 participants to be enrolled. Only in that case I can take up the weekdays. Otherwise, I have the weekend batch ready, which we are starting from this weekend, and you can enroll there. Okay. So if you have any technical questions, you can ask me. Otherwise, I'll hand over to counselor. He will give you all the detail. And also, if in case you're looking for weekday, you can just straight away message or text him. You're looking for weekday or whatsoever, and he will take the pre-booking from you. That means there would be some token advance that to make sure that you're seriously interested or not. Otherwise, what happened? I frame the batch for weekday by saying that all are looking for weekday, and then the participant is just 2 or 3, which I don't think is worth of my time. So if you do the token advance, which is just a 5% or 10% of the total fees, and say that you have done it pre-booking for weekday, then I'll get it engaged for the weekday batch of next 2 to 3 months. So do you guys have any technical question from any topic we discussed today?
Yeah, Dhawan, I think for OOPS concept is missing in the syllabus. Like, is it not OOPS concept not required for this network automation or?
See, it is from the what do you say? It's a part that we use to write. It is nothing like it comes or it's not. It is a way we can write the script, or if we don't do the ops, we can still do the scripting. That is usual. That is mostly used for the library development. Whereas our script writing usually are only 10 lines, right? So we can use it or we can ignore it and write it straightforward also.
Okay. No, that's what I'm trying to understand. Like, so OOPS it's not required for this network. I mean, it's not mandatory for the network automation, right? Even things
Yeah, actually,
can
for
be
the
done
script
without.
writing, it is not mandatory.
Okay.
From the library development, yes, definitely yes, but not from the script writing.
Okay, maybe the more the complex we involve, then maybe in the other sectors, like I see people with use a lot of scripts for the DevOps environment, right? So
Correct,
those things requires.
correct. Yeah.
So we can manage without that, right? I mean, this whatever
Yes,
the
yes.
Python theory you mentioned, it's all like it's not that going to be very complex one. All basic understanding, then we can directly jump into this libraries. So
Correct. Yes, yes.
okay, thank you.
Sagar, just
Yeah.
need to understand one thing. For the firewalls like the Palo Alto or the ASs, so which this the language is preferred for the apply the firewall rules over these
See, for
different.
ASA, you can go with Python plus package like Netmiko itself. And
Uh-huh.
for Palo Alto, I will suggest you to go with the API method since it is having the dashboard, the HTTP port. Otherwise, you can
Mm-hmm.
also go with Python with Netmiko itself. Palo
Okay.
Alto will also have its own SDK, that means its own Python library as well. So there
Uh,
are multiple options. Most preferable will be the API method for you. You can do all the policy push, object
mm-hmm.
creation, tag creation,
Uh-huh.
everything using the API method itself.
Uh, okay. So you will cover all those things, right?
Yes,
During the
exactly.
project. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Dhawan, one more question. Sorry, this firepower, right? Is it common practice to use Python, or is something it's not advised in the real-time environment for creating the APIs, right? For firepower.
No, see, when it comes to API, you have two options to select. One is Postman, which is direct and simple, or you can go with Python itself. Even Python will make the contact via the API method itself. Not Python means it doesn't mean it will do the SSH. It will make the API only. But you have to write the entire script. Whereas here in the Postman, what happens if you have seen the interface, you just have to call that API, fill those username password. There will be a submit button, and you click it, and it is done. Whereas in Python, what happens? You have to write the script in a systematic way, right? So both options are there. Both will be making use of API to connect with the FTD. So here you make use of a library called request library. Put the things in a structure. Whereas Postman is very simple. Just I don't know if you guys have used this, but I can quickly show you how the Postman interface looks like.
So because the reason I asked is we thought of making a Python with this firepower in our company, but from the solution architect has given a message that he couldn't recommend this dangerous approach on our FMC. It is a single point of failure that we can't afford to lose. So something that it's a common thing, right? It's not something weird that we are using Python with firepower, right?
Uh, Depends. I mean, some people API means they will use this Postman only because it is very easy to use. Say, for example, if in a Palo Alto, if I have to do the policy configuration or any network object creation, I have to only put the API calls, put my HTTP operation, and define the authorization, authentication, and click the send button. It will go to the device, give me the needful output. Okay. Whereas in the Python, what happens? The same thing you have to write it in a systematic order. You might do indentation problem. You might not know which library to use. You might not know where to put the for loop. So a lot of things happens in the Python script. The same thing we can convert and also convert into Python script, which I'll show you in the class. There is a way. The same thing that you see here, whatever you see here, with a very easy way, we can convert it into a Python script. All things ready made, and with the help of this PyCharm, you can run the show. If your management say no, we need only Python and PyCharm, then you can do that. You don't have to prepare it from scratch, but there is a way to convert this into the script and then run the show. Okay.
Same for firepower also, right? Because I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
you're
yeah,
showing
yeah.
this pan OS
As I
example.
told you, automation is device independent. Okay. If I'm telling for Palo Alto, that means for firepower also the approach is same, but API will be different, which comes from the vendor. So all these APIs are given by the vendors only.
Oh, okay, okay.
Okay,
Thank
fine.
you.
So I'll do one thing. I'll hand over to counselor. Sajid, are you in the call?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, I'll make you host so you can once explain all the procedure.
Sure. Yeah, I can start, right?
Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
Hello, everyone. Myself, Sajid. I'm a student relationship manager and the counselor. So I'm here to give you the details and on the enrollment and access details and pricing details, everything. I'm giving you all the details regarding this course. So let me start with my first slide. So as you can see here, so I have just marked out all the topics and class schedule, course syllabus, what we are going to cover in this course. Okay. So as you know, this is a Python network automation course. Here we'll be covering Python, Ansible, and REST API, pyATS, then DevNet, then SD-WAN automation, and firewall automation on Palo Alto, FortiGate, Cisco ASA firewall, Firepower, FTD, and on the FILTM load balancer. So overall, this will be going to be a multi-vendor training. So you can learn a lot from this course, and you can be a automation expert once you complete this course. Okay. So and let me move towards the class schedule. Okay, so this will be going to be a weekend batch, Saturday, Sunday, from 9 a.m. IST to 12 noon, means 12 p.m. IST. Overall, 3 hours of session, 2.5 to 3 hour of session. So here the course duration will be 2.5 to 3 months. Okay, and yeah, rest regarding the course content and everything. Our trainer Sagar sir has given all the details in brief. So what all things will be covered in this training. Okay, I will move towards the next slide. So here, as you can see, course enrollment and access details, like access which we are providing to enroll students who are going to enroll. So they will be getting the recording access for the lifetime. So let me tell you, like we'll be providing you the recorded version of your live classes which you are attending through the Zoom meeting and all. So that will be recorded in the backend and that will be uploaded to our web portal. So that web portal access you will be getting it for lifetime. From there you can go through the recordings whenever you want. In case if you are preparing for some interviews or some of your organization work or some of your production work, so you can refer the videos what all training you have taken. So for all the way reference you will be having your recordings with you for lifetime. So secondly, we'll be providing you the remote lab access that can be accessible for 24 into 7. unlimited. Whenever you want, you can access the labs. Okay, that too for 6 months. For 6 months, you can access it 24/7. Whenever you want, you can access the labs as per your time regions. So we are providing you the 24/7 access. So as per your availability, as per your schedules, so you can access your labs. That all you'll be getting your each and every separate pod for your self like dedicated pods for each and everyone. Okay, and next third point will be for like we'll be providing you the materials like workbooks, PPTs, PDFs, step-by-step lab manuals, all the script writing materials, text materials, so which all notes our trainer Sagar sir will be taking in the class, that will be given to you guys, so you can implement in your lab environment on the, let's say, on the same meeting while you are practicing the in the session. He'll be giving you some tasks to implement the scripts, and he can like you guys can show on your lab environment. If you face anything, you can just tell your trainer, so and so thing is happening. So initially you can interact with the trainer and get it done. Okay, and that can be downloadable, and the G drive access remains with you for lifetime. If in case if you lost any of your manuals or workbook formats, so you can re-download it once again. And we'll be providing you the home lab setup. Let's say if you have the good configuration of your system, so we'll be helping you to set up a home lab, so that once you are done with your remote lab access, further you can practice on your personal laptop, and that will remains with you for lifetime. Whenever you want, you can access the labs which are present on your laptop, and some will be having their own server, so personal server. On that too, we'll be setting up the labs. Okay, the minimum configuration requirement is 16 GB RAM and 4 core CPU. After all, like if anyone has the 32 GB, 64 GB, that is far good to have a better lab experience in your environment. And we'll be providing you the 24/7 backend support from our NetworkJourney team. If you are facing any issues, any queries regarding to the course or regarding to the portal or regarding to the lab, while practicing the lab, if you're stuck somewhere, you are not able to move forward for next step. On that case, you just need to raise a ticket on our support DL. One of our team member will connect with you, and we will resolve your issues accordingly in meantime. Okay, and yeah, these all access and support facilities you'll be getting from our end remotely. Okay, and let me move towards the next slide. So here I'm talking about the admission and pricing. So you have saw the you have gone through the today's session, so what all things will be covered, you know it, what all queries you guys have, you discussed with our trainer Sagar sir, and I hope all of you guys have cleared your doubts to be enrolled for this course. So for enrollment, as of now, the 25% flat discount offer is going on. With that, you guys will be getting the self-paced course, self-paced recording course. So as a free buy with the enrollment with the 25% discount. So anyone is looking to enroll, so you guys can go and just ping on ping us on these numbers. So I'll be sharing these numbers on the chat, so you can take on the take from the chat, so you can ping us on the WhatsApp, or you can call us directly. So if it's any Indian number or anything for our other country students, they can ping us on WhatsApp, or you guys can give the WhatsApp call, so we'll be there to answer you. Okay, and yeah, this offer remains till next 6 hours. So who are really going to enroll for this course? So you guys can go and book your seats by making some token amount of 5,000 rupees for Indian students, and for you US students, you guys can make the payment of 50 USD. We will share you the details on there itself. So if you just ping us on the WhatsApp chat or somewhere, so we'll be there sending you instantly. Okay, and the classes will be starting from the 11th of January, the first class, And if anyone is interested for the weekdays batch, so we are feel free to keep the batch, and trainer also have the availability to take the batch from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. evening time, Monday to Thursday, 4 days in a week. So if anyone is looking for weekdays batch, feel free to ping us on this number, or you guys can directly call us. So we'll be scheduling the weekdays batch. So the minimum count should be the 15 students. Then our trainers sir, Sagar sir will be taking the batch for the weekdays. So you guys can ping us on WhatsApp, and you can enroll. Means in form of you can book your slot for weekdays. So if the number comes up for the 15 students, then we will schedule the batch for the 15 students like on for weekdays. So we will start with the from next coming week, like 1 week or 2 week. So we will instantly start your batches on the weekdays. Okay. And yeah, I think I have gave you all the details, and our trainer Sagar sir has also gave you all the details. I hope you guys cleared your all the doubts, all the points to be get enrolled for this course. And thanks for hearing me. If you guys have any questions or anything related to the access and materials or anything related to the pricing, you guys can just let me know. I'm there to answer you.
Yeah, Sagar, so the
We
batch will be starting from this weekend, right? Like from 11th or
Yeah, from 11th. As you can see here, class 1 starts from 11th January 2025, Saturday.
okay, okay. So also we can retake the same class, right? Like if you need to retake maybe in the next batch or something.
See, if in case if you missed out some classes due to your personal commitment or due to some your office commitments, you got some your different shifts or some your personal reasons. So if in case like we can like provide you the free retake option.
Okay. So the total fees will be with how much total it is? Like
Yeah, you ping us on this number, so you'll be getting the exact fees details and everything.
okay, okay, yeah.
Okay, instantly once the meeting is done, so you'll be getting the call back.
Okay, fine.
Okay. Yeah, if anyone is looking for the weekdays batch, so you guys can ping on this number and book your seats. Okay, you can do the pre-booking, and we'll schedule the batch accordingly.